Good evening, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Sunday, everyone. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Mine was great. A lot of good time with the family. Got our Christmas tree, decorated that, did some ice skating, a hockey game. So it was good. Overall, a good weekend. In CCNA news, I scheduled my CCNA for exactly 30 days from today on December 29th, December 30th. So the countdown is on. Hopefully this is the only time I need to take it, knock on wood. And so I am studying. I'm going to be spending these evenings and the mornings studying, really trying to buckle down for this last push. It's been a long time of study, crazy body of knowledge that I've learned to love, but still a lot of complexity, at least when you're starting with not a ton of networking, either work experience or just knowledge in general. So anyway, today is going to be a IPv6 lab. I realized that this is a topic that I don't have a ton of competency in, and therefore I'm going to be labbing this probably for the next couple days and hopefully record a couple videos similar to this one. We are back to Jeremy's IT Labs. The CML side quest was good, and I will return, but it takes a while to get CML environments up and labs running. They're very resource hungry on my laptop anyway, and that has increased the amount of time it takes to do different things, and it's just kind of added hurdles along the way. So I think I'll use Packet Tracer. It's much faster, and for the 95% of these scenarios, it serves our purposes just fine. So let's begin. All right. The IPv4, this is Jeremy IT Labs, day 31. So I just went back to his file or folder or whatever of available labs and just looked for the ones that were marked IPv6. And here we are. The IPv4 configuration of each device is complete. Perform the following IPv6 configurations to create an IPv4, IPv6 dual stack network. All right, so IPv4 is already configured, so let's just confirm that. We'll try to ping from PC3 to PC1, so from 192.168.3.2 to 192.168.1.2. So from here, we're going to, let's see, ping 192.168.1.2. Was that right? Yes. 192.168.1.2. All right, and it's successful. So yes, IPv4 is up and running. I would like to make things a little bit bigger. So here's a little side quest again. In Packet Tracer, we're going to Preferences. I'm going to say Application Size. I don't think I need to worry about that, do I? I'll up that a couple. I'm going to up this on the CLI to 20. Tooltips up a couple. Apply. And let's see what that looks like. All right, yeah, slightly larger. Okay. So enable IPv6 routing on R1. So here's R1. Let's spread this out a little bit. Config, we want to be on the CLI. All right, so stuff is up. Let's see, en conf t, and then I think this general command to enable IPv6 routing is IPv6 unicast routing. I think that's all we need to do. All right, moving on. Configure the, I'm getting used to CML. Configure the appropriate IPv6 addresses on R1. Okay, so it looks like there are 3 different subnets. 2001 DB801, 2001 DB802, and 2001 DB803. And we are given what appear to be the address, the host addresses for each of the interfaces on R1. So there are going to be 2001 DB801::1, 2::1, and 3::1. So I think all we need to do is go into the interfaces on R1 here and set those. So let's start with the G00 interface of R1. Interface gigabit 00. And instead of IP add, like we would typically do, we say IPv6 address, and then we start putting it in. So we're on interface gigabit 00. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay, and so let me drop this window. We're adding 2001 DB801::1 is the address of G00 that we're setting, /64. So I believe this is the syntax. And then we can say no shut. So now we need to go to gigabit 01. Interface gigabit 01. We were just on 00. IPv6 address. So we're looking right here now. 2001:0:2:1, which I'm getting from right here. It's given to us, /64. No shut. And then finally, let's go into the gigabit, I think 02. Yes. Interface gigabit 02. IPv6 address 2001:0:3:1/64. No shut. Exit. All right, so that is that step, I think. Configure the appropriate IPv6 addresses on R1, yes. Confirm your configurations. What IPv6 addresses are present on each interface? Well, I think we can just say show, instead of IPv6 interfaces brief. And we see 2001 DB801, 02, 03, and they're all up. All right, I think that's a success. Confirm your configurations. Okay, now configure the appropriate IPv6 addresses on each PC. Configure the correct default gateway. All right, so it looks like each PC is :2, belonging to the same subnets. All right, so it's just in a different address. And then we need to remember to set the default gateway for each one, meaning the address of the interface in its subnet, the IPv6 address of the interface in its subnet. All right, so let's start here. I think we want to go to config. All right, so what am I doing? I'm doing IPv6 configuration. Okay, so we need to set its address. 2001:0:3:2. And do we need to put the slash? Okay, the slash is here. 64. All right, I guess I'll get out of that. Let's come up to this one. Config. Fast Ethernet. 2001:DB8:0:2:2/64. And finally, config. Fast Ethernet. 2001 DB8:0:1:2, which is right, what we're given right there, /64. Okay. Configure the appropriate IPv6 addresses on each PC. Configure the correct default gateway. Okay, we got to do that. The default gateway. So here we are for default gateway, and it's IPv6 default gateway. Okay. So in this case, on the PC3, it's 2001:DB8:0:3:1, pointing to the, like I said, the interface on R1 that is in the subnet from that, in the same subnet as the PC we're configuring. All right, so that's that one. Let's do this one. Default gateway 2001:DB8:0:2:1. All right, and then finally, default gateway 2001:DB8:0:1:1. And I think that's that. All right, so now what's next? Attempt to ping between the PCs, IPv4, IPv6. Okay, well, let's try first IPv4. So we're here. We already did this. Let's just make sure I can ping 1.2. Still ping that, okay. And then ping 2.2. And I think that will have to go through ARP resolution. Hopefully, yes. And I can't ping myself, I don't think. Okay, so now let's try, we're on PC3. Let's say ping 2001:0:1:2. Is this how you do it? It looks like it. Successfully responded, 4 packets sent, 4 received, 0 lost. If I say /64, does this work? Ping could not find it. So that's apparently not the correct syntax. All right, so let's O2.2, which is the other subnet. So there must be, I'm curious what's on the router. Like, how does it know? Maybe it's just because they're directly connected. Show IP route. How about show IPv6? Does that work? Show IPv6 route. Oh wow, there is. That's cool. Directly connected. Yeah. So I assume because they're directly connected and there's no ACL or anything to prevent it, it will route. That makes sense. I think that makes sense. I think that's basic routing. All right. That's the end of that. That was the lab successfully getting ping connectivity between the 3 PCs, each of which has an assigned IPv6 address, and those pings travel through a router that's assigned to process IPv6 addresses. So, bearing down, trying to be ready for this CCNA. I'll be happy if it happens, and if not, I'll just keep going. So, hope everyone has a good week. Hope to see you again soon, and thanks for being here. Bye.